All right, good evening for us and good morning for some of you, ladies and gents, personal trainers at sea, personal trainers currently in training in different regions all over the world. My name is Dan Pano. I'm the Director of Fitness Operations for OneSpa World. And I'm delighted to let everyone know that I'm joined here today by two very special personal trainers that have been with this company for many years now. We have Ashin Mandikar. I hope I pronounced your name right, Ankush, your second name. And we have Sachin.
Yeah.
Excellent. Both personal trainers currently out at sea. Ankush is currently on the Eurodam, has just completed a very successful Alaska season and is now heading down to the Caribbean to Fort Lauderdale to start the Caribbean season. And Sachin, likewise, on the Majestic Princess, has been up in Alaska for many months now, having a fantastic contract also, and has just crossed over all the way to Australia. So Ankush reporting in, I think, down in the Panama Canal, and we have Sachin. Sachin, you're in Sydney, or you're at sea today? Just left Sydney?
Yeah, yesterday we were in Sydney. Today we are at sea. Amazing.
So at sea today, and we have pretty good internet connection. So if you've been on ships for a long time, you'll be this is a pretty good connection, given the circumstances. So great to have you both. We're going to run a nice little question and answer session here with Ankush and Sachin, and the objective of this, for everybody listening, whether you are a personal trainer at sea and you are on your first contract or your 10th contract, or whether you are currently in the academy or about to join a ship and just finish training, this is for you guys to give you and share, for Ankush and Sachin to share best practices, their experiences, how they've got to where they've got to today, and the sacrifices and the dedication, all the things that they've done to be called to come and do this interview to benefit everybody. Okay, this is what it's all about: working as a team, sharing best practices, with like-minded people. And Ankush, Sachin, you've both been incredible examples of development. I first remember meeting Ankush and launching stretch and release on Princess, on the Coral Princess, and you just hit the ground running. You became a good feet specialist very, very quickly, and have since developed in all different aspects of the business. And Sachin, I remember, I think he was on the Star Princess, and I was a sales and revenue supervisor, and remember, within the first 2 weeks of who's this guy? $10,000, bang, immediately, right? And for both of you, immediately hitting the ground running, but going from strength to strength, but not only for yourself, but being great examples to others that you have worked with and having a positive impact on them. So, from me, I appreciate all your hard work. We're growing, we're developing as a company, and people like yourselves are very, very important part of this company for others as well. So great to have you both. We'll get straight into it. Ankush, let's start with yourself. Would you like to give yourself, a little bit of an introduction on who you are, where you're from, what did you do before joining cruise ships, how long you've been with the company, contracts you've done, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, thanks, Don. First of all, I would like to thank OneSpa World. And then you are my mentor. I have been following from the day one till now. You have been helping me a lot in whatever. I'm here because of you, actually. So the best thing what happened to me in my life is OneSpa World. The day when I joined, and before joining, I was just working as a personal trainer in a local gym in my area, which is Goa. So I'm basically from Goa. I started in 2014. My first contract was on Sun Princess. It was a small ship, but that was my first start over the journey. So yeah, till now, it is just incredible. It completely changes you personality-wise. Success, everything. I've been here and I've been selected to give this mentoring, or that is all because of OneSpa World. I couldn't thank more than this. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, 2014. So that would have been when I first started fitness supervising. I left ships as a trainer in 2014. So yeah, we've been in a lot of communication since that period. So you've taken the tools and you've used them very, very well. You've made them in your own, which is really, really important. So great stuff. And then Sachin, over to you. A bit about your background. Where were you before cruise ships? How long have you been with the company? Contracts, vessels you've worked on?
Amazing. So thank you so much for, first of all, giving us the opportunity to talk about ourselves and sharing our experience. It's been a pleasure always to work with this company. I have, yeah, absolutely. As Ankush rightly said, I could have never imagined 3 years ago, if someone would have told me, hey, after 3 years, this is where you would be, I would have never believed that person. So I take this. It's been amazing journey. I'm from Mumbai. I was working with the F45. It's an international fitness functional training company and a business now. So amazing experience working with them, amazing people. And I have used those knowledge, which I have learned over the years from there, and applied onto OneSpa World. And the training which I've got from the academy, fantastic, amazing. Wayne, I can never forget. I would definitely like to add one thing here. The day one, when I went to the academy in London, I sat down in my room and I was like, am I sure I want to do this? It was a small room. And I was like, really, can I do that? And that was the day when I literally missed my family and I was literally felt like, should I think about this? But then I remember my mom telling me, try it. My brother telling me, do it. What are you doing? And that was the day. And now it's been 3 years. There is not a single day I felt like changing anything. I feel like this is the best decision I've ever made. So thank you. And I'm looking forward to continuing what I've been doing from this.
Great stuff. Really, really good. So that leads into a really good question, actually. And we'll start with yourself, Ankush, talking about the academy. Obviously we have now, and worth pointing out, this year we have the London Wellness Academy running courses, Goa, India. We've just done our first ever course in Serbia, in Belgrade. We have another course upcoming in Argentina. Obviously, South Africa is one of our major hubs as well. So, and Philippines. Next week, we'll be doing our very first course in the Philippines. So, it's incredible how things have grown and developed. But when you guys did your training, you were both in London, right?
Yeah, yes. Absolutely.
You both flew to London and you did your 3-week business school with Wayne, which is great. And people have many, many amazing experiences there, but it isn't easy. Okay. It's designed to be challenging. It's designed to push you out of your comfort zone with the objective of getting you on the ship so you can hit the ground running. And of course, the objective is to get it as close to the ships as we possibly can and the experience that you have within that time. So again, what for you, Ankush, to start with, what were some of the experiences that you had in the academy and some of the key things or good pieces of advice that you've got for people that are about to start training or currently are in training?
Yeah, excellent. Because when I started trained in London with Wayne, I was super excited. Like because I have been first time going in UK for training, so I was super excited. But as soon as I reached there, it was like, as Sachin mentioned, like, do I belong here? Like, what is this? Like, because it literally out of my mind. Like, we get Wayne Zimmer, like no one. So he was my trainer. So absolutely fantastic person, Wayne. So I was literally on my toes every second. I used to get dreams at night because we used to sleep like 4 hours. Because there is no time to sleep, like literally, because next day you have to prepare for the day, and then there was no time. So in just 2-3 days, I was like, am I going to pass this interview? Like, what is this exactly? This is completely different. I didn't expect to be there. So I was completely shocked the way the training is. The training is hard, yes, as Dan mentioned, it is hard, but it is made hard for a reason. Because when you go on ship, you realize why the training was hard. So because it's absolutely the most you can make it is in training. You need to get literally everything from the training. Yes. That was my experience from the training. And I was very happy to pass that training.
Yeah,
Very happy and proud, actually. Yeah.
very good, very good. And that's it. I mean, it's designed, as you say, to prepare you for long hours, long days, switching from different subjects, from a stretch class to then preparing for your cycling, to then going into preparing for your upcoming seminar, to then go into consultation. So you have to be very switched on, very dedicated, and organized. But if you dedicate yourself to it, like everything, right, it gets easier and easier the more work and the more effort that you put in. So that's awesome. And how about yourself, Sachin? What are some of your fondest memories, and any bits of advice you would have for people coming into training?
I would definitely add into this, like whatever Ankush said, on point. But adding to it, I would say what you learn there, and if you use it, those are the basic stuff. If you use it, that's it. Your contract, the remaining, you can do 10, 20 contract. Those things, if you keep following it, it will keep working every time. And I have seen that. Like people always think, oh, you just adapt to the situation. That's all we need to do. But what we have learned in the academy, if you go back to the same journal again, you'll feel like, oh, why I haven't been using it? I've been missing this. And then do the same thing, you'll start seeing the result again. So like what we learn in the academy is, yes, that's the root of everything, what we need to do. Okay.
Yeah.
And if we absorb everything step by step, there's nothing to be worried about. It is hard. And yeah, don't expect that you're going on a holiday. I would never tell anyone that. Expect that you're going to learn something. And if you want to grow, and if you really want to do something in your life, you have made the right decision. I can promise you that. Like day one, when I walked into the academy, and the day 24, I can never forget that 16th of May, I was a different person in terms of my knowledge, in terms of my confidence.
Yeah.
And I remember Wayne telling me that when I did the seminar, he told me that I have never seen anyone doing the seminar like this. So I can never forget that day. And the video, I still watch that video of the seminar and laugh on it. So that's my motivation, and it will never change.
Yeah. Amazing. And that's
so I always will tell everyone to, like, don't think about like, okay, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? No, think as if like you're doing, this is like, will be the best thing you can ever do in your life. So just take that opportunity, thinking about the result, but because I always believe in the process, and this process is amazing.
Yeah, you've hit it spot on. And I think there's some really good takeaways here that, you know, for fitness listening, about to go on ships, or if you're on ships and you're getting a bit stuck in a rut, you know, the fitness business manual is a living, breathing, working document that we are, you know, as an operations team, constantly updating and evolving, and using that as your playbook. When you get on a ship, if you put that manual down and you never look at it again, it's very difficult to progress to the next step. The manual teaches you the basics of every part of our business, and it is your objective then to keep growing and developing from what you've learned within that manual. And as you rightly said, right, after 3 weeks, you come as a personal trainer, but you go away with this skill set now, knowing how to do a BCA or an InBody, knowing how to conduct a seminar and detoxification and good feed, but then acquiring more knowledge every single day to that new skill set. Well, once you also lead training, is what gets you to the next level and to the next level, and you'll just keep on growing and growing and growing. So really, really good point. A really important point there. And recording yourself. No one likes to listen to themselves. You know, when you do your own seminars and you listen to back for the first time, it's really important that you do, and you give yourself constructive feedback. Because I remember even as a trainer, you know, when you may be consistent for a period, but then all of a sudden, if things aren't going well anymore, it's really important to go back to the drawing board, right? Re-record your seminars, go back to the manual, and you very quickly realize, I now know why I'm making mistakes or not getting the consistency I once had. So really important that that manual is always a go-to. You're recording, you're growing, you're studying, and you're developing, not just whilst you're there, but of course when you get to the ship, and that continues. That is absolutely paramount. Which leads us into our next question, because this is a really big part, right? Sometimes, this job comes more naturally to some people than others. It's a fact, right? We know that. But everybody going to ship has enough talent to be going to that ship. Otherwise, we don't assign people to cruise ships. But as a first contractor, what are the key things or bits of advice that you have for first contractors, first getting on board ship in their first month on board? What are the key things you must, or you believe, or things you've done to ensure that you hit the ground running and you grow and you develop? It's not going to be perfect first time. Absolutely, we all hear the word no and let me think about it. But the better we get, the less we hear it. So what are the key things in order for that to happen? Ankush, from yourself, what are the key things or advice you have for the first contractors about to go out there?
Yeah, absolutely. Like when I first joined my first ship, which was Sun Princess, it was in Australia. So I worked with Australian people, and then first contract, very first time on ship, the first thing I noticed was seasickness. I was badly seasick. Yeah. So, but it's literally different. I wouldn't say like difficult. It's a new environment because you're working with many other nationalities. The main thing I would focus on is you need to get like literally uncomfortable. If you are in your comfort zone, it's not going to work for you. So the first thing I step on the ship, and first thing came into my mind is, you know what, I need to do this. I literally need to go ahead. It feels weird. It feels like, should I go? Should I do this? But there is nothing else can work for you rather than being uncomfortable. So I started being uncomfortable from the start. Like I used to have some confidence, but it's my first contract. There is a group of people in seminar, and then you have to go in front of them and speak about health and fitness. It's and they are in higher age than you, so you're a bit uncomfortable. But you just get going, because once you go there, you are literally in it. Like, so that was my first thing, getting uncomfortable. And yes, you have to get used to the ship life. Like it's different from land. It's sometimes it is long hours, sometimes it's a challenging job, but it is the most rewarding job as well. And that's what I would focus more on. It is challenging. It is not that easy also, but it is the best rewarding job I have ever been. So that was my first, and I just stick to the basic, what I learned in academy, like what Wayne instructed us. Listen, you have to go through this. I followed the protocol because I had nothing else to follow. That was my key point. Basic, and basics.
So yeah, spot on. Doing the basics well and getting uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, that was my.
It's a fact. It is a fact that the trainers achieving the most success right now. Now, hear the word no. Let me think about it. Let me research it a lot more than people not achieving their targets and reaching their goals. The difference is the ones that are making the most out of the experience and are achieving their goals and hitting their targets are just having so many more conversations, engaging constantly wherever they possibly can, and building rapport with guests, and then gaining likability and trust to then turn that into business. And I'm sure you'll both agree, when you hear no and let me think about it, if you allow that to then start justifying, oh, maybe it is the guest, maybe it is the cruise, maybe it is the itinerary, that's when everything's going to go wrong for you, right? So
yeah, definitely.
You will only be able to overcome those by learning how to fight the objection before it becomes one, by constantly engaging in conversation. So really, really important. Doing the basics well, throwing yourself constantly into uncomfortable situations, which eventually will become comfortable. Brilliant. And what about yourself, Sachin? What is some of your
So for
early experiences and things that you have advice for first contractors, what they should be focusing on?
And the first contract, mine was like amazing because yes, it was very different experience. But although the people I had in my first contract, like I can never forget them, like Dice, Wesley,
Yeah.
Emma, Amy, one, they all me so well. Like I never like I'm new. But also like Dice used to make sure that I'm on my toe. I'm not relaxing and thinking like that improved me because I'm just when I sit back now and I think, what if she wasn't doing what she was supposed to do? I wouldn't be here. So I give all the credit to Dice, to Wesley, to you, and to all the people I've worked with to make sure that I do well. So yeah, I used to work really hard, enjoy my job at the end of the day, and make a target. Like this is what I want to do by the end of the cruise. And then looking at
Yeah,
the rankings. So first,
yeah,
Rankings.
Wesley introduced me to the rankings, and Wesley was like, I want you to beat this, where to his position. And then there was a time like after 4 or 5 weeks, and then I actually did that. And I'm sure he and Dice was the happiest person. So that was a proud moment. And I would say to the first contract, like take this as a experience, take this as like a life experience and go ahead into it. You're not going to lose anything. You will only gain something. You will learn something new. You will meet amazing people, and you'll get to see a lot of new stuff in the world. Same with your guests. Like you're gonna get foreign guests to interact with in India. So we coming here, interacting with them, knowing about them. You have one life. Use it.
Mhm. Good stuff.
yeah. I would like to add something there.
Yeah.
Like Sachin mentioned, like he worked with Wesley. Wesley is like amazing trainer, and that was if you do have opportunity like working with experienced trainer, that's the best thing you have there. Because when I started on my first contract, we both were from the academy, my colleague and me, so
Yeah.
we were brand new, so we were like strict to the basic. So if
Mhm.
you get any chance to work with Sachin or most of our experienced personal trainer, that would be gain as much you can. But the baseline is your academy right there.
Exactly. It's spot on. It's a great
Yeah,
point. It's a great point because you may go on a ship with an experienced fitness already, you may not. But in that moment, having the ability to adapt regardless. And as you say, there are, and as we see today, some of our best fitness out there right now are on their first contract. Um, Even only went through virtual training because of the circumstances around the period of COVID where we couldn't get people into training academies and they were virtually trained like we would be doing now, who have gone on board by themselves and just thrown themselves, as you've rightly said, into the deep end, constantly asking questions, constantly in communication with the fitness sales and revenue team. Michaela, Ricardo, David, who I work here in the office with, who are out there as mentors and sales and revenue supervisors, which again, really, really important that communication and connection with the operations team. Again, ship to ship, right? And I really encourage trainers to be communicating with each other, even if they're not on the same ship, to share best practices, experience, or first contracts. So, really, really good point. And Sasha, I know you mentioned Dice Coatsy, right? Is still out. I'll give a shout out to Dice, who I'm sure she's going to watch this, who is currently the Regal Princess now. So I know Dice very well.
Yes,
As you say,
absolutely.
right? Managers, is in their best interest, right? To ask questions and what are you doing next? And as you say, keeping you on your toes, but it all pays off, right? And as a result of that, it kept you moving forwards. So that's great. Really,
Absolutely.
really good. So with that being said, a big part, as personal trainers on board cruise ships, it's quite a unique position in that there's normally only one or two of you on the entire ship out of the entire crew. You are constantly switching focus, right? Stretch class, total body conditioning, abs, Pilates, and then you're then going to be doing your boot camp class, and then into a seminar, and then you're sitting down with people one-on-one. What do you do in your spare? What is your morning routine before you start your working day? Okay. Mindset. I'm a big believer of mindset to be successful on board cruise ships. So how do you both prepare mentally for your working day in order to remain consistent and stay successful, regardless of the situation you're in? Ankush, how about yourself?
Yeah, I've been practicing this for a long time, and I will be keep practicing this in future as well. So yes, as then you mentioned, mindset is the main thing, because if you don't have a proper mindset, it's not gonna take you. So mindset is very important. So how would I start my day in morning? Like for example, a sea day, I would go early to bed first. That's the main thing. So I go early thinking that tomorrow is a big day for me. And I always assume that the next day, which is coming, is a big day for me. So I need to maximize that day. For that, I need my body to support me. My mind might say, oh, I'm going to do this. But if you're tired and if you're exhausted, it's not going to work for you. So the first thing is taking peaceful and nice rest. And morning, I wake up a little bit early. So if I'm starting a class at 7 o'clock, I will be like 40 minutes early, just thinking what I'm going to do throughout the day. So how I'm gonna do my seminars. After my stretching, I'm gonna do abs. After that, I'm gonna invite my guests for the presentation, which will be the Good Fit seminar and my detox seminar, which is coming up. So yes, I do have a mindset, and I keep my body ready for it. So that's the main focus. And I do some meditation also, like 5 to 10 minutes. You don't have to do it for like long time. For me, 5 to 10 minutes, I just sit in a quiet place. I just think over and over, what is my goal, like what I'm here for, what is my main focus to be on here on this ship. I'm away from my family for what? So I actually keep my body calm, think, and then start my day strong, like boom, go.
Excellent. I think your point of really important sacrifice, and I always talk about this.
Yes.
The all of our recruits now going on to cruise ships on their very last day of training, we talk about sacrifice, and the most important part to be successful is
Yes.
to be the sacrifices you are or you're not willing to make. So if it means going to bed early so you can get up, going to bed an hour earlier before a sea day to get up an hour earlier, to go outside, get fresh air, listen to your favorite music, get yourself pumped up for the day, is essential, because it catches up with you, right? If you're not getting your rest, if you're not eating as best as you possibly can, if you stop exercising, you see it all the time. 3 or 4 months into first contracts, people are just mentally drained, and there is no way you can be switched on back-to-back consultations, doing seminars and classes if you don't mentally prepare yourself for your working day. So it's a really good point, and I like exactly what you said. I'm telling myself today is going to be a big day. Today is going to be a big day. It's really good. And I always remember when I was a fitness on ships, looking at that crowd of people that you've worked so hard to get that room full, and telling yourself what I'm going to get from this over and over again. And it's amazing, by saying what you've said, the more you tell yourself something, good or bad, in most cases, good or bad, it's going to happen. So great points. Great points. And what about yourself, Sachin?
So basically what works for me is when I came on board, I always write down when I finish my contract what I want to achieve. So it's always there in my room. So it's there here as well, but I won't show you because it's mine. So I have that target, so which I want to achieve. So every morning when I wake up, I see that motivates me.
Great.
Okay, because I know the reason why I'm here, so I never forget the reason. Every day is a different. There will be a lot of days you feel like I want to quit. There will be a lot of days you feel like I'm drained, I'm tired, I can't do this anymore. But that one reason will motivate you to do well. That reason will push you and will tell you why you are here, why you're away from your family. Okay, if it was that easy, then you wouldn't be here, you were somewhere else. And I totally believe if anything which is easier, then that means it's not great. So if you want something great, if you want to do something amazing, you have to work amazing. So start your a night before, as Kush said, very important rest. And I totally believe in that. If you're
Mhm.
resting well, the next morning you do well. And what I do is always break down the day. Okay, I never go into the day without like okay thinking what I'm going to do. We'll see. Break down the day at night before. You always plan everything because that day when you're starting, you won't get that much time. So always plan already. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. So when you start your day, sit back. Okay, I've already planned everything. It's all ready. You just need to execute it. It becomes smoother, and it won't happen from the first day itself. It will take practice. So keep doing it, and you will start seeing the results. And don't if sometimes you might not get results. So that doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It's just that you need to get into a process. The approach is very important. So yeah, start your day fresh. Very important. Don't wake up 15 minutes early to start to going to the job. Give
Yeah,
yourself take a nice cold shower and then start your day. And breakdown is very important. Prepare your target. This is what you want to achieve today, and hit it. It makes your job easier. So you don't have to like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do. You're not all over the places. Smooth, simple.
absolutely. Great point. Having your list of goals, very, very important, right? It's very hard. And this in every job, there's going to be good days and there's going to be bad days, right? We know
Absolutely, yeah.
but that's the whole point of that is to remind yourself when you're having a tough day, why am I here? Who do I want to be? Where is this going? What I want to achieve from this? And just recentering yourself and reminding yourself by looking at that list, as you rightly said, of why you're there. You know, do you want to pay off a student loan? Do you want to get a down payment on a house? You know, what would it mean to you to be able to send more money home to your family this Christmas, maybe than you could last Christmas? I think success means different things to different people, and whatever that means to you, and whatever makes you feel, and what would make you feel more successful, it's important you write that down and remind yourself because cruise ships can absolutely give you that, right? And as you guys are proving by doing these key things, what the outcome is, and what you guys have achieved so far. So really, really good points. And admin, right? You can be amazing at seminars. You can be amazing at doing a consultation, but if your administration around that, when people aren't looking, is not good, it all falls apart. Making sure that your chairs are ready for your seminar, your sign-up sheets are prepared, pens, basic things, but all these basic things lead to big things. So all these things around and working closely with your manager, getting in good business relationships with your manager, with your team, onboard management, all these things all build, lead to big things in the end. So really, really good points there. Which leads us, as far as operations and talking about, the onboard business, obviously you guys right now in the process you're in, going from Alaska, transitioning down to the Caribbean, or now Sachin in Australia, constantly demographic changes, right? Working with North American guests and now Australian guests, going from the UK market to back to the North American market again. What is important, and what do you feel is important to be able to adapt? Because to be successful over a 9-month period of a contract, you might be on 3 and 4 day cruising for a couple of months. You might switch to an itinerary of no sea days and then lots of sea days, 7-day cruises. Now you're doing 15-day cruises in different demographic. It always amazes me when we receive all these Sunday reports, regardless of that circumstance changing, the best people, the best trainers always figure out how to stay consistent and get it done. So you guys that have been through that and have proven that and are a part of that, what are some of the key things and pieces of advice that you have for adapting to that change in itinerary, demographic, and so forth? Ankush.
So basically, what I tell myself all the time, whether it is Australia, whether it is South America, China, Europe, Australia, It, the thing doesn't change that what are we? We are personal trainers. And what is our main focus? To help our guests. So if you are truly helping or try to help your guests, doesn't matter which part of the world you are or what ship you are, you are definitely you're doing good. There is no point in that. So I normally just don't go in a mindset of like selling something or just giving something to my guests. I literally try to help my guests, and they can literally see that a person is trying to help or just trying to sell you stuff. So
Yeah.
that is my main focus. So you need to be genuine in what you're doing, and you need to tell yourself like, I need to help this many people, or I need to help this person. Doesn't matter what person is this, whether it is Asian or European or American, it doesn't matter, because that's how I think, that's what I'm here for. I need to help my guests to the maximum, to my knowledge, and give them the best possible what I could give. So it doesn't matter what ship you put me on, or which part of the world I'm saying. I do the same stuff. I literally, for example, one time I was in South America, and the whole ship was full of Spanish guests. Like literally, I don't understand Spanish, like nothing. Like there was all guests with Spanish. Guess what? I used to hit my target with Spanish guests because I find out a way out of it, because my manager and two therapists on board with Spanish speaking. So anytime I have a guest, I did my seminar with my managers translating. So I speak and my manager translates that into. So I didn't give up saying like, oh, you know what? I don't know Spanish. So that's it for me. I can't do anything about it. I literally find out my way. This was on Emerald Princess.
Uh-huh.
Was my third Emerald
Yeah.
Princess,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Third contract. And I remember my manager as well, Mirella Tiron. I
Yeah.
still remember her because yeah, she she helped me a lot with my contract. So she used to speak very good Spanish, but she was all time. So I have a guest. I run down to her, Mirella, I need your help. So she used to come and explain what I was speaking to my guest. And this is how I slowly started learning keywords, small things of Spanish. And then I was comfortable explaining them, little bit about what I do. And then that was amazing for me.
Mm.
Literally, that was, yeah.
Yeah.
So the basic doesn't change. It's the same.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. The biggest thing we always tell new trainers is people buy people. They buy your energy, your enthusiasm, your passion. My favorite saying is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah.
And I've met people even that start this job with not great English, but they're doing amazing things just because of their energy and we've lost Sasha, I'm sure he'll be back. Of their energy and their enthusiasm and their passion. So really, really important points. There's always this thing about, oh, I've got a good ship, I've got a bad. It's never normally the ship. We see that all the time. We have trainers on British brand vessels. We've seen some incredible numbers. The busiest seminar I've ever seen was on the P&O Ventura. We've seen trainers achieving incredible revenue, and all of a sudden you get all the back to sea requests for those vessels because people think, oh, it's the ship, must be an amazing ship. When it really boils down to, it was the trainer and his influence and his impact, regardless of who it was, right? So it's true, right? You may be great at connecting to North American guests. You now go into Australia or the UK, you've got to have to adapt. Learn the culture, learn the values, learn the favorite basketball, baseball, NFL team. That was one of the first things Tim Duck said to me going to the UK, the US. They're not gonna understand your British jokes. You need to become like them and sound like them. And that
Yes.
helps because now you build rapport, you build commonality, and now you can talk about your business. And we're not selling watches, we're not selling diamond rings, we're selling health and we're selling well-being. And I think we just need to remind ourselves that if you're not uncomfortable about it, the guests won't be uncomfortable about it. You should never feel, everybody's selling something to somebody, but we're selling health and well-being. And if you're comfortable with that and you don't feel like you're selling, and you should never feel like that, the guests can see it and you'll get the results that you're looking for. So really, really good points. I know we've lost Sachin here, which is not uncommon on these calls because he may be in this movie as well. We'll just have a few more questions and hopefully we can get Sachin back. Oh, here he is.
Yeah.
Right on cue. But really, really important points there. And we'll bring Sachin in because I want to see what he's got to say about that as well. Because I know he's been.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. It's the nature of being at sea, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So Sachin, we just finished wrapping up some of Ankush's points there on adapting to different itineraries, different demographics.
Absolutely.
Clientele.
I would just add on to, I heard everything. I'll just add few points.
Right,
quickly.
yeah. What is your
so
key
it's exactly. So what exactly you should do? First, remember, people like them. Okay. So if you study about them, like before coming to Australia, I spoke to Ricardo because who has done already Australia before. So he told me like they're relaxed, they're chill. You need to educate them more. So I've started doing that now. So what I'm doing is basically I'm learning more about Australian people. I'm learning more about their background, what they like. And what seems to be working with me is, of course, I'm from India, so cricket is very common. So you get along with that.
Exactly.
You build a rapport.
Great point.
So build a rapport with them, understand them. And before you seeing a guest, always learn something about that place, where the guest is from. Because if you want to do a business with someone, they're not going to do business with, okay, yeah, that person is they only do business because they like you. And I totally believe in that. So if you want them to like you, you have to understand them. You need to share the same interest. So those things, what you need to change when you change the demographic of the people. And also if you are having a long cruises, so don't use the same approach which you do on the 7-day. So for long cruise, what you should focus on more is more services like personal training, nutrition consultation classes, because that guest is going to come back to you again and again. So you want to do that more, and that works for me well. So if doing these few things will help you, definitely. And whatever Ankush said, just adding into it, that's all.
Yeah, no, it's a good add-on, and which leads nicely into the next question, because obviously to do that and to get good at that and to different demographics, there are two parts to our business, right? It's learning the products, it's learning the different programs that we have within our business, but then of course then it's also about the delivery of the information, the way we portray ourselves. So what have you read? So Ankush, are there any key books, audio tapes, or things that you are currently listening to, or books you've read in the past or currently reading now that you think are worth noting for the trainers out there or going on board cruise ships soon?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you have to constantly go through new information, like because sometimes in a seminar you're gonna be just stuck in with what you know, because many times there will be guests who ask questions.
Yeah.
They might ask you literally anything, and you need to be in position to answer this question. So if you just stick to what you know, it's gonna be difficult. So what I listen to sales audios, which is Ziegler. We have, if you come on board, there are a lot of stuff to learn. There are a lot of books. I read a book, The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy. There is one more book which very, very popular, that is The Secret, Law of Attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it tells you to be positive. It tells you what you give out to the environment, like what you think. It becomes a reality. So I read that book, and I also watched a movie on that. That is The Secret.
Yeah.
And also I watched a lot of video on Barbara O'Neill.
Mm-hmm.
Barbara O'Neill. She's from Australia. Barbara O'Neill. The videos are really good, excellent. It tells you about your body internally, health management, waste management. So it is very related to what we actually speak in seminars. So I read that also. And now actually I'm going through one more book of Barbara O'Neill, is Self-Heal by Design. Self-Heal by Design. It's her new book. Yeah. So constantly I go through, if this is what I do in my free time. So if I have a free time, that's what I do. I watch YouTube videos for motivation. Like there is a nice motivational speaker from India. His name is Sandeep Maheshwari. He motivates many people. The talks what he gives is amazing. Like that keeps me going sometimes. It doesn't have to
Yeah,
be the same person. The thing is, you need to watch something, or you need to read something, or you need to learn something every single day. So that gives you new information, and that builds you up as well as a person. So yes, I do a lot of things when I'm, yeah, having a free time. Also, I read
yeah,
many books also. Yeah.
brilliant. And I think with that being said, again, another sacrifice, which is really, really important as trainers, is that when you do have free time and you are in the early stages of your first contract, not first, but always is that going in and spending a bit of your time off, go to a coffee shop, get some internet, and go and do the things that you
Yeah.
said, right? Because it's a great investment that you will be paid back very quickly on by spending that time. My best friend, outside of reading books and learning the psychology of sales, was Google was my best friend when I was a personal trainer. If a guest said something to me, or I had a consultation form and I looked at conditions that maybe I was not well versed in understanding or talking about, Googling it, finding out about it, and then the confidence you have to then talk about that to that next guest up front is normally why then they would say, yes, I want to invest with you. Making money is a consequence of you delivering value, and you become more valuable when you have more knowledge. And if you have more knowledge, you
Yeah.
absolutely have more confidence. So it all goes nicely hand in hand. And the amount of internet
Yeah.
hours that you probably spend money on as well, and it's an
Oh,
investment.
definitely. Yes.
It's an
It is an
investment,
investment.
and it
Yeah. So
absolutely pays off.
yeah, I would mention that same thing as well, because my best friend, if I'm alone, is Google. I did the same thing. Like, if a guest asks me a question and I don't know the answer, I Google it. I see what it is. Like, for example, many people are familiar about detox. They say lemon detox, apple cider vinegar. So I
Yeah,
always gather information about apple cider vinegar, lemon, what exactly it is, what it does. So when a guest asks you a question, you're in a better position to explain what it is and how different that is from what you are asking them to do. So it's very important to
yeah,
know that first. So yeah, absolutely, yes.
brilliant, brilliant. And then Ankush, hopefully we get Sasha back to wrap it up, because we're going to wrap it up shortly. And in
Oh no,
closing,
yeah,
with all this being said, and today's been a really, really productive, and I think this is going to really inspire a lot of people by you guys sharing your best practices and your experience over the years. Studying essential. Doesn't matter how experienced you are, it must continue every single day. I'm inspired by first contractors, even having been in this company for 16 years and hearing some of the things that they come up with, and it's incredible, right? So we're always learning regardless of experience. So what would you say, what's the number one essential piece of advice you would have in closing today's conversation for people about to join cruise ships? What's some key bits of information you have for them?
so this regarding working on board on a cruise ship, if you would ask for some opportunity in your life, like, many people say, like, you know what, I need a good opportunity to prove myself, or to do something special, or do something amazing. This is the opportunity what you have right now. And that's what I hated right there. I got this opportunity because, you know what? I have seen struggle before that. I I was literally struggling and struggling. Every year I was struggling. And this is was my last struggle. So this opportunity changed everything from me. So like literally everything. What I have now, what I am now, is because of this opportunity working on board. Well, what is not there to be here? I can literally, I'm in Mexico right now. Puerto Vallarta. Next day, I was before a week. I was in Alaska, Juneau, Skagway. You cannot imagine what this opportunity is all about. If you have that opportunity, this is the best one in your entire life. I grew so much. Nobody used to know me before. Now I'm here video, this suggestion. So we are discussing about how to work on board. That's absolutely amazing. Working on board changed me mentally, changed me as a person. It completely changes you as a person because you work with 150 different nationalities. So you see many different cultures, you work with them. You see so many guests in your lifetime. The places where you visit, you never would imagine you would be there in your lifetime. And the working environment is absolutely amazing. It is a hard work. Absolutely. Yes, it is a hard work. I train myself in my off time because sometimes I don't even get to hit my workout if I'm busy. Like it is sometimes so busy for me. So in my off time, I sacrifice to sometimes, go somewhere out. I love to work out. And because I need to stay healthy, I need to stay fit first place. And then I can recommend my guests to be healthy and stay fit. So the only thing I would say the amount of success you can get with this job, there is no limit. Absolutely, there is no limit for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I have
it's up to you what you make. You write your own paychecks, right?
exactly.
Yeah,
So
you put in.
you write your paycheck. That's all what I wanted to say.
Awesome.
So if you have this, don't lose this opportunity. Take maximum advantage of this opportunity of working on board. That's all I can say to all the new joiners or even people who are thinking of joining this company. Once power, that's the game changer. That was the game changer and is a game changer for me. And I have been through ladders of this position, and I'm literally thankful for all this one opportunity which I had on board.
Great stuff. Awesome, Ankush. And
Yeah.
just look at that right on cue as well to bring us home. We're going to wrap it up shortly now, Sachin. Coming to the end of our conversation today. But what would your final pieces of advice be for people about to embark on their first contracts, or even people that you just, on board right now that have been on board for a while, and that could do a bit of a pep talk, that just need to understand a few more missing pieces of the puzzle to make their goals become a reality?
Yeah, absolutely. Then because working. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Is Sachin there? I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, right there. Okay, perfect.
You're stealing Sachin's airtime there.
No, that's absolutely right. Ankush is more experienced than me. He has more knowledge. I'm just a third contract. I would just add on to whatever Ankush said, please. Yes, that's amazing. And also, like, believe in yourself. Okay, we all are capable of doing everything. Okay, when you come on board, be prepared. Whatever the checklist you have, always prepare a checklist, what things you need. Once you have your checklist, follow through it, and then you're ready, set, go. The day when you start, okay, and your 9 months of contract, you'll be a different person. I can promise you that. Okay, every day is not same. So take one day at a time, use it, make the most of it. And this would be a life changer for you. Don't expect it to be the very easy, smooth job, because I do get a lot of messages from a lot of people and they keep asking me, bro, there is this problem, that problem. I always tell them, even I have faced that problem. Don't think we are sitting here today because our life was easy. Because I always believe when you get a no, that doesn't mean that's the door is closed. That no means next opportunity. So there is something else coming out.
Absolutely.
So use that and keep yourself open and flexible. Be flexible to changes. If something's not working, no problem. change the approach, and have a positive mindset. You are going to have an amazing time. You're working with amazing people, and take this experience. This will be there with you for the life. As I always say, that knowledge is what something no one can take from you. Is the wealthiest thing you have. So come here, use this knowledge, take this experience, and you will never regret. I can promise you that.
Awesome. Awesome. Nicely
Uh,
said and nicely finished up. Gents, it's been an absolute.
I would like to.
Go on.
Yeah, I would like to
Go on,
add
bring us on.
something for Sachin actually. I've done more contract, but I would like to tell my other trainers, it's not the seniority or something. I still call Sachin and take advice from him as well. I will call him like, Sachin,
Brilliant.
mate, like I'm struggling with this, like help me out with this. And he gives me good tips, like because at the moment Sachin is doing absolutely amazing, like literally amazing. And I'm very proud of it. I would like to give you a big hand, mate.
That's the way it should
Like
be.
literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate him. I admire him sometimes. I call him Sachin. I need some help, mate. So and then he said, like, you know what? I tried this, and I wanted to mention that he's really good now. I really like that. Yes,
Awesome.
really.
Love
So
it.
don't
Yeah,
think
thank
like
you. Thank you.
it's give and take. It's give and
Sure.
take. If somebody is struggling, definitely help that person.
Absolutely.
So thumbs up for yeah.
Good
Yeah.
stuff. I
Thank you,
love it.
thank you.
And we've got the ability to communicate more than ever before now, working on ships, right? So yeah, we just take full advantage of keeping in communication with your colleagues. First contract it doesn't matter. We can all learn something from somebody and congratulate each other. Leave your ego at the door. And
Yeah.
take advice, best practices, and we grow as a team. Okay, we're successful as a team. So gents, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on today and going through this conversation, the interview, whatever you want to call it. But it's a great opportunity to share your stories, get it out to everybody working on ships, about to join ships. I thank you all so much. Thank you guys for your continued hard work. And again, a shout out to all our personal trainers. Thank you for all your hard work. Keep growing, keep developing. Stay in close communication, look out for each other, and we grow together. So thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Dan. It was a
Appreciate it.
pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dan, for having us here and giving this opportunity. Thank you so
Cheers, guys.
much. Thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah.